I can get your kids a meal. It's going to be a kid's meal. All right, which means it's going to have golden arches across the top of the box and come with a toy, but it's not coming about that restaurant if I so choose to do that. But again, that's not my job because I'm out on a date with you. And
in what world?
That ain't it.
In what world? It's like Kev said, yo, if you've been in for an hour and a half waiting on this guy, like, then you're getting what you get. And if this guy continues to, if he takes her out on the second date after she pulled, then you deserve what you get.
I owe you one does not mean you get to dictate how I spend my money. I'm up to it. I'm up to it.
Are we going there?
I'm up to it.
That's the show, Dada.
There he is.
Everything's off. Okay, there we go. I'm about to say, there we are. What? I'm sitting here like, what is going on? What?
I'm waiting for the restart. I was like, hey, and for another second, I was about to be like, why 2K again? But
we came sliding in from the side like we had dancers.
It got us all over again, man. What's good?
Everybody's
partying.
What it do? What it do?
What's going on,
what it do,
ladies and gentlemen?
What's going on, everybody?
Dude, baby, we are here.
We here, man.
How y'all doing today, fellas?
It's Friday.
It's
Friday night, and I feel all right.
The New Year's
sounds like we're gonna have a party. Sounds like we're gonna have one of the good old funky good times. My man.
Hey.
He's already on it. We out here. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Assuming we can still call you that, and you'll see why we say that a little bit later on. Don't worry. But welcome, man. Welcome. God damn it.
Well, I mean, there are a lot of reasons, but
it's a whole lot of reasons.
A lot of reasons, but it's a particular one today.
There's a couple particular ones, but it's the end of the year. I want to go nice. I'm gonna go out in a nice way, so we're not gonna go too crazy on y'all. But we're gonna hit some topics though. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna have a good time like we do every time. So thank y'all again for joining us on this here Friday night. It's time. So let's get to the intros. Y'all already know what it is, man. I'm Trey, the great and terrible. I don't really got nothing else for you. I'm ready to get into these topics. It's about to get real crazy. It's about to get real crazy. We got some stuff to talk to y'all about. So for the end of the year, we're gonna try to do this right. To my right. Nah, my right on the screen, my left in real life. My man Kev, immovable force, closing out 2022. Talk to us, brother. What's good?
All right. So of course, we won't see you all again until the new year. So I want to say Happy New Year to everybody. So we're gonna go, Golden Classic. So we got the Bacardi. I'm a rum and coke guy all day, every day. Captain is my go-to, but this Bacardi Gold hits different. So yeah, you got this mixed with a little bit of cola. And the shots tonight are going to be shots of the Ensign Peach. And I told y'all, I'm not playing with y'all Ensign. Y'all need to call me. All right, Ensign Peach, better than Crown Peach, cleaner than Crown Peach. So, salute to the new year.
Yeah.
There you have it. Yeah, there you have it. Short and sweet to the shots. I love it. Now bottom, he's got it's the Commanders now. He's got the old school logo there in the background right there. He hails from Catonsville. Down bottom, my LB. Talk to me, brother.
What's going on? What's going on, good people? Hey, man, I'm doing fine like wine. I hope you are too. And we're about to have an interruption in 3, 2. Okay, maybe not.
We're here.
Savage toddler. Savage toddler. I love it.
It's all over. But listen, I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. It was a long week, and I only got 2 words for you: is to be more. Be more, and you can throw whatever else behind it. Be more vocal, be more open, be more strong, be more courageous, be more whatever it is for you, just be more. And I thought of that because going through a tough week, I was just like, man, it doesn't matter who's throwing what at me. I just got to do me, and I got to be more of just more of whatever I got to be in the moment. So I'm gonna be more present. I'm gonna be more, And so that was just something that stuck out to me. But that's all I got, man. Y'all in for a good show. Let's get into it.
I love it, man. That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. I like to hear that. Always good to get the inspirational message from the inspirational Kang.
Oh, man. You know what else, too, man? I wasn't feeling very inspirational, okay? I was actually feeling like a riot starter. But even in that, right, you get some inspiration out of that. And I was like, all right, well, okay, you can take something from that and turn it, So, yeah, go be more, even if you're going to be more of a riot starter.
I was going to say, do we want people to be more riot starters? You want people to be more like us?
Be all that you can be.
Ah, man.
Hey, that's an old commercial, Kev. That's an old commercial. You started out the day with some old school stuff, man. When we got on backstage, I heard you had Family Matters in the background.
Yeah. Laura is really trash, though.
She is, though. She really is. Which episode was this you were watching?
Oh, the last one was, of course, Rachel has her place. I'm in the end of the second season, and Rachel's got Rachel's place. So Harriet came to work with her and tried to take over the entire business, even though she was just supposed to be help out for the day. So they got into it about that, and that was the biggest thing. But of course, Laura was boy crazed into something. So yeah, that was pretty much the episode.
And it'd be, wait a minute. There we go. Okay. And it'd be like that. And it'd be like that, man. Laura, I understand she was the love interest of Steve Urkel and all of that for real. But if you really go back through was it 8, 9 seasons?
Yeah. And they were lengthy seasons.
Yeah. We talking about 10, 15, 20 episodes in. Laura was definitely let me put it this way. I said it before, I say it again. I would have been done with Laura a long time ago. All right. I'd have been done with Laura a long time ago. And she always end up getting into something. Man, let me stop. Let me not go on about Family Matters right now. We got enough stuff to get into today, so it's just wild. All right, so look, man, fellas, it's 2022, baby. We made it. Round of applause for all of y'all. And as a matter of fact, let me go ahead and pour my shot for that.
Yeah.
We made it to 2022, baby. We made it through 2022. We going into 2023, the Jordan year. How y'all feeling, man? How y'all feel about this year? Did y'all feel like it went by too fast? What's your thought, man?
Nah, man. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like it's a blur because, I got the little one, so every day feels long. But, I mean, I don't feel like it. I don't know. Sometimes I do feel like it flew by. Other times I'm like, wow, we've been through a lot, and we have, but we made it. So, man, I don't even think I've had time to even reflect on it all. That's one thing that I want to encourage y'all is to reflect on it. So if you haven't done so already, reflect on the year, write some things down, write your accomplishments down, what you did, what you're proud of yourself for, what you're proud of others for, write it down. And then, you know, right next year is what you plan and goals and things of that nature, man. Yeah, give me a second. Let me think of some things.
Yeah, no, I think it, it does feel like the year flew by. It's the shortest years with the longest days. Because I was thinking about something the other day, and it seemed like that happened like 2-3 years ago, and I was like, yo, this was actually in the spring. So like, just certain things felt like they happened and happened a while ago, but like you realize that was like the first quarter of the year. So yeah, the new year's gonna be something. It's gonna be something. But I ain't saying nothing because I swear every time we put a proclamation on a year, something. I'm waiting for a
Huh?
closed caption to come in on Trey.
I think he's muted. Hey,
Whoa,
Trent,
I did not know
there we
that.
go.
Yeah, okay. All right, we
Yeah.
back. We back. My bad. I was just about to ask y'all. My fault. We live, baby. This is what happened. Do y'all think you're gonna fool around with the New Year's resolutions this year, or just set a few goals?
I already been working on them. Shout out to God and therapy. So a lot of the things, if I ever want to
Hey,
see,
that's a shot.
yeah, right. If I, what they say, it takes 21 days to build a habit. And so, like, if these are major, like, life changes that you want to make, habits that you want to break, stuff like that, it's not something that you can, say when the ball drops giggity that you're going to, just automatically do something different. So, like, I like to get a running start um, into the new year. So, some things, things that I want to do differently. I'm like you said, be more vocal. Like I tend to bite my tongue a lot for the sake of peace and being non-confrontational. But I know in all facets I have to begin to stand up for myself and speak out when things aren't right. And I've been doing that in the workplace a lot. Because I don't like telling authority that they're wrong, but now I'm kind of in that space. So yeah, just trying to get a head start on things I want to change.
Yeah, yeah, that's big right there. It's funny you mentioned keeping quiet for the sake of peace. That's actually another thing we're going to talk about later on today. Because I think a lot of people do that, particularly a lot of men do that. I'll get to that a little bit later. What I'll say about the New Year is, um, I think it's important to set goals, and I think it's important to attack those goals daily. The thing about it is, most people have given up on their New Year's resolutions within the first couple of weeks of the month. We know that, the first couple of weeks of January. So, what I'll encourage everybody to do is kind of what Rich said: is just work on being more, work on growing by 1% every day. That's my plan anyway. Yeah, actually, y'all can do what you want. You niggas can do what you want. All right, but as for me, my goal is to grow a little bit daily, grow 1% daily, a little bit better today than I did yesterday, and just keep that up throughout the day. I will also say one other takeaway that I got from 2022 is that um, you learn what people not to trust, right? And I'll say I've learned to that skin folk ain't kinfolk.
So,
I've learned that blood or mud, people are people. I've learned that um, a lot of what I thought to be true about some people is totally untrue. And so I'm happy for that because now there's transparency. Ding ding. We're gonna talk about that. Now there's transparency, and now I know how to move forward. So that's my biggest takeaway is knowing who's really in my circle and who's not. Who's really rolling with me, rolling with the Welchers, rolling with what we're doing, and who's not. And that's fine.
mm.
I know it's a little bit somber, but yeah, I'm not as good as Rich with the inspirational shit. So,
Oh man, I
but
don't even think
I
I'm
got to
as
keep
good.
it real. He's not even as good as himself. But yeah, I definitely learned that lesson, man. You yeah, you can't trust everybody. Can't trust everybody. Kinfolk ain't kinfolk. And black people, you're gonna really need to know this going into 2023 because you're gonna need to know who to trust. And that's real talk.
So now that I had a chance to think about it, man, my takeaways from 2022, of course, for me personally, man, is, and I think I touched on it before, it's the talent, the talent that I have and just utilizing it. You got to use your talent. They say you use it or you lose it, right? And just doing more. I'm thinking back to all the different projects that I've had this year, partnering up with some frat brothers and whatnot, going to different places, just doing, and actually by me saying, be more, actually, I think, because I think at the beginning of this year, I wanted to do more, and I did a lot. I did more. I did more with my family. I did more with friends than the last couple of years. Just being out there, and even when I took a break from my business with my brother, my schedule was still full, and but next year I don't think I'm gonna do, I think I'm gonna just plan. Like, I'm gonna plan and set goals and work towards those goals. I don't think I'm gonna necessarily do a New Year's resolution, but I'm definitely I've set already some goals, and set those plans in motion. And now I got some more that I'm gonna write down, by the night tomorrow, and work those too. Especially with my wife. I want to get some time. We're gonna take some time and get those hashed out, because we got some big plans, man. We got some big plans. So I encourage y'all to do the same. Do what you want. But do it.
Man,
Do it.
man, just do it. You know what I love about that, man, is that the family time is a big flex, man. I know it doesn't seem like it, but really, like, having a family and spending the time with your family, with your kids, with your wife, that is a huge flex. That's a huge flex. So that's definitely, I'm with you on that. That's something I want to be able to do. It's part of the reason, why I'm working the job that I'm working now, and building the businesses on the side, because I want to have more time with my family, man. So I'm with that 100%. 100%.
Next year, I'm taking the entire week between Christmas and New Year's off. I ain't working, because this is for the birds.
Man, it's like a teacher. Yeah, if I know you sick, because it's about to be over.
I'm sick. With the holidays being on the weekend, we got robbed.
Yeah, that's not a flex. Yeah, Christmas on a Sunday, that's not a flex. Go right back. No good. All right, bet that. Yeah. Well, that being said, we are 20 minutes in and we are still sober-ish. So,
very much so.
Let's get to it. Josh, my man, Josh is in the building, man. I know you got your drinks ready, man. So let's go ahead and take this first shot. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us. This one's for you. Beautiful. I had to take it back, man. I went to Crown Apple today. Take it back.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Shut it, everybody.
Shot. Hey, let us know what y'all drinking on in the comments, man. Whatever you sipping on. If you sipping on wine, you sipping on let's malt liquor. You sipping on milk.
Yeah.
We want to know. We want to know what you're drinking on in the comments. Let us know.
Pacos.
With all that being said, Hey, so look, right? It's December. January is coming. In January, we usually, or used to anyway, take a trip to Hotlanta. And I don't know about y'all, but every time I went to Atlanta, I looked forward to getting some food. And because we are here in Maryland, I look forward to places like Waffle House. My ass ain't going to no Waffle House no more.
Uh-oh. I love Waffle House.
I like Waffle House too.
No,
But boy, they crazy.
For $4.
Yeah, their breakfast is amazing for $4. You can eat real good for $4. Real good for $4. So big shout out to Waffle House. I'm lying because I'm gonna go back, but this was interesting. We're gonna talk about this. So there was a Waffle House brawl. Let's take a look at it and see what happened.
Bro, what the fuck going on, bro? Hell no. Bro, I just want my waffles, guys. What they doing, bro? Come on, son. Yo, what's going down, son? Oh, shit, you wildin', man. Oh, shit, you are wildin'. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit, y'all wildin'. Y'all wildin'. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, oh my God, bro. Oh my God, bro. You wildin'. Yo, chill. You about to go to jail. Chill. Bro, about to go to jail. You wildin'. Y'all wildin', bro.
In the
Well,
jail.
in the
Why we
game.
gotta be like this? Why we gotta be like this?
Yo, she had that. You remember when Thor's hammer came back to Captain America? That's how she grabbed the chair.
Hey.
Hey, she really did though.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Hey, look, the white girl was throwing them hands though, bro. For real, she was throwing them hands.
She did not play.
She was really throwing them hands. Let me ask y'all this, right? All right, well, there's a lot of things to take away from this. LB, you said it. You said it. Why are we this way? Why are we this way? But before we get to that, takeaways. Kev, you want to kick this one off? Oh, he wasn't ready. He wasn't ready.
Nah, oh man, that's just extra wild.
That's my baby.
Just definitely throwing hands, but it's just extra wild. But as long as it don't affect the timing of my order, y'all can take each other out. I'm just saying.
No, that's affecting the time of your order.
I'm relatively sure that's going to affect the time of your order.
You know,
I could be wrong, but I'm relatively sure.
let a waitress and a manager get into a fight. As long as the cooks don't stop, hell, I get back there, fix my own plate. You just, what I'm saying, make sure it comes off in the right time.
I think the white girl was the cook. I think she was the cook.
Days down bad. That's why I stop at North Carolina. And that one Waffle House in Atlanta. Is that Buckhead though?
That one Waffle House in Atlanta. Yeah. That one that we always go to.
That Buckhead line.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
I mean, like, listen, you at Waffle House? Come on, man. What was I don't even know. Like, what was so terrible? What you had Waffle House? What? And then
Need context.
it looked like one of the workers threw the sugar jump, the glass, sugar container, that old school one, at the customer. I was like, dang, well, what she say to you to make you throw the sugar at her? And then the whole chair. Oh, you know what? I have seen this. I've seen a different clip of it, because there was another one where the chair gets thrown, and then the worker behind the jump was like, bloop, like literally like grabs the chair. I don't know if it was made up or not. It was just like, what just happened?
I had a
That's
terrible
wild.
joke.
It was like they made it so that she like
Say the joke.
caught it and like threw it to the side like some superhero move or something.
Oh, nice. Nice.
I'm trying to stop the fight. Like, I'm trying to stop the fight so I can get my food. So I'm with Kev. Like,
That's it. As long as the
we
food
breaking
in.
we breaking the whole thing up, because all right, y'all need to leave. Y'all, whatever y'all, come on. The cooks, where the cook? That's the cook. All right, we got to protect the cooks.
They're all cooks. They're
Ooh,
all
we in Waffle House. Dang, yo.
I thought we were just there to eat some cheap breakfast.
But when people be drunk at 4 a.m. and fresh out of the club and stuff, they be wanting to fight anyway. So the littlest
I'm
thing.
saying, but ain't that
Maybe they
how you come out the club ready to fight?
Maybe they didn't get their food. Maybe that's
You was
I
wanting
don't
to fight in the club, but you can't fight in the club because they will ban you. Waffle House just puts you out for that day.
Damn.
And it might be a 12-hour ban. I don't.
But okay, all right. So let's talk about that, right? Because I often say that one of the biggest problems we have in the Black community is culture. I believe we have more of a culture problem than we do a race problem, or some of these other problems we have. I just think we have it's a us acting the way that we act issue more than anything. Not saying the other stuff isn't in existence. I'm not saying racism don't exist or nothing like that. What I'm saying is that we have a bigger problem with culture than we do with racism. And our culture is you guys kind of alluded to it. Leave out the club, you drunk, and you ready to fight. Pause. Why? You just came out the club. Isn't that a good time? Are we having fun?
They was ready.
I just had a couple girls clap cheeks.
Depends on what
I just had a couple girls clap cheeks on my hip right here. The last thing I'm thinking about is fighting. I don't understand.
I guess it depends on what you're drinking, because some people drink dark and they want to fight. Some people drink light and they want to take flight, and some people drink tequila and want to do other things.
Hey,
so
I'm here.
I guess it just, I don't know. Depends on the person, people. You know what's funny? When I said, why are we like this? You know what's funny? When I said, why are we like this? I actually wasn't speaking in racial terms. I was actually speaking in cultural terms. I was talking about everybody. Why are we like this? Because it's not just a race thing, because everybody has it in their different races, right?
I agree.
So why are we people like this? Because even in that clip, it wasn't just black people. The white girl was like,
it was the one white girl though. It was just the one white girl though.
Well, but hey, come on now.
That's her culture.
And she was throwing hands like she grew up, in a black neighborhood, probably.
Culture. I'm just saying. So it's in that culture, jamming them up. Why are we like this?
Kev, why are we like this?
It's because I'm blaming on the alcohol, but I mean, even though in the club at this point it's everything. It's drugs, it's alcohol, it's a mix of the things. But I do think like people don't go out to enjoy themselves anymore. People go out to be confrontational. People go out to just change scenery, to literally do the same thing that they do inside, which is nothing. They, get out, pay for a table.
Is that?
Still, I don't know.
Why do you think that is?
They wild. What they say, gangsters don't dance, they boogie. I don't know. Just
so sometimes I do look at it as if somebody is being belligerent or something, that whenever somebody's like, angry, upset, whatever it is, I'd be thinking of that whole transfer of energy, right? They don't want to be this way anymore. So they gotta expel this energy, and the energy has to go somewhere. Otherwise, it's just going to stay, with them. So if I don't want to be angry anymore, I might put that energy, that anger off on the someone else instead of something else. And I think that's where we get things messed up is we tend to lash out and take it on other people instead of, learning how to deal with it in a better way. So I don't know, maybe sometimes that's somebody's thing. That's what they've been accustomed to. This is what we do. We go out, we be rowdy. I'm gonna be more rowdy. I'm gonna be more of a riot starter when I go out. We're gonna go to this Waffle House, we're gonna turn the thing out. I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know what was happening. I just want more
I guess
waffle.
people's definition of a good time, I guess, is different. Because again, like, look, we earned, rightfully so, we earned the title riot starters, right? Okay, I'm thinking back to our days in our early 20s and undergrad and so on, right? Okay, we yeah, it was a wild time. It was a wild time. Those of you who were around for that time, you're welcome. Those of you who weren't, you're welcome for not
It
having to
was a
deal with that
show.
shit. It was a movie every night, just about. It was a movie. But anyway,
Man,
I guess even with our riotous ways, we still, for the most part, were just trying to have a good time. But like, we were willing to start a riot, like an actual IRL riot, but that wasn't the intention. Like, we didn't go out to start a riot. We just were willing to start a riot. If that makes sense. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we were, if it went down, and it went down a few times in Atlanta. If it went down, all right, cool. It was gonna probably be us at the forefront, right? But that wasn't the intention. We didn't go down there to start stuff. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
yeah, no. So you were doing I think you were doing a good job trying to explain it because it's not like we're just causing havoc to cause havoc.
Right.
We are the party, so it was like we're gonna have a good time. But if somebody goes the wrong way, pops off wrong, at the mouth wrong, then
Yep.
the riot came out.
For
So
real.
yeah, we yeah. I'm not trying to justify it. I'm just thinking back, like, dang, what if this?
No,
was
no, we're not
it would have
justifying
been us in
anything.
the Waffle House because we know to keep the main thing.
Exactly. That would not have been us because the important part. Can we be real for a second? The important part was, what am I going to poke on after Waffle House? That was the important part. You feel me? Now, to that point though, all the people involved were women, whatever those
Actually,
are.
I was going to bring that up that you did see. At least I thought I saw like even a couple males that. Nah, it was probably like one or two. One male jumped in there.
They were trying to break
He's
it up.
trying to break it up. Like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, women
So have we
are
come-
fighters now.
I was gonna say, have we arrived at a point in culture now where the women are the ones out here fighting
They're the fighters now.
all the time?
Majority of the fights that happen in my school are girl fights.
Okay, so why are the girls so angry? Why are these young girls so angry? Because when we were growing up, we were always told about the angry black man, right? At least I was. I don't know about y'all. I won't project
They-
my issues onto y'all. But
They literally had a character on Martin called Angry Man.
okay, right, facts. Okay, and shout
Who's
out
black.
to my man Joey, who nicknamed me Angry Man in the band. Right, when I was in the band, I was Angry Man. Right, Rich, you remember that?
yeah.
So, but now the women are mad. Now the ladies are all upset. What's that about? The girls, like, I understand. Okay, all right. So We're not talking about this particular thing today. But I saw a video not too long ago, a couple days ago actually, where the there was a panel of guys, maybe 6 or 7 of them, and all of them had no fewer than 6 kids. Okay, all 6 or 7 of them. I think one of them had like 20. You know, okay. Like I said about Nick Cannon, I feel some type of way about creating 20 fatherless households. You know what I'm saying? I do feel some type of way about that. And so do y'all think that, because there's a lot of that, especially in our community, I think it's 70%, 70 or almost 80% of children born now are born to parents who are not married. Okay. And I'm not judging nobody. I'm just saying somewhere in the neighborhood of 8 out of every 10 are raised in fatherless households. And we know that having a father in the house is equivalent. I'm sorry, the kids just being with the father is equivalent to having mom and dad in the house, statistically, right? So our parenting is very, very important. And I wonder if that's the reason why all the girls are all upset. They don't have that rock in their house. And I'm not just not to knock any of the women out here. Women can absolutely be the rocks in their house. They're It's just different. They do it differently because men and women are different.
I can see your point. I think more about the social aspect of womanhood now. Everything is a moment to be viral. Everything is about competition. First when we first got Facebook, MySpace, whatever, like you put them in your top 8 and everybody was cool. Now it's, I got more followers than you, and what, this video got more likes than yours. Now what, people aren't commenting on yours. People don't subscribe to you. Like there's so much competition in like social climate, that it's always going to be divisive. Like just there's a lot of things that we don't care about, so we don't fight about them. Like stuff is trivial. I don't care about how many followers you got or I got. Like as a man, that means nothing to me. I don't, it's yeah, we're just in competition.
And why?
Social
You know
media,
what?
they got to be.
I think I agree. It's you think it's social media? You think it's social media mostly?
Yeah, that's the whole, yeah.
Uh, let's pontificate on that a little bit because you mentioned competition, right? And that actually is a perfect segue to our fair or foul segment. So let's go ahead and get these shots ready while we get ready for the fair or foul. Get ready to switch segments here real quick.
Yeah,
I
let's
got
move
mine
on
pulled up.
because I'm sitting up here thinking about 20 kids in the same household. Like 20 kids in the same. I'm thinking about that in the same household. Like
I mean, let's be honest.
if I
If you in
got
the
20
same
kids,
household, you're not having 20 kids.
how am I supposed to give each of them suckers, each of them ninjas, attention? 20? Even if I had them
Hey
in the
man.
same household. Whew.
Hey man.
I mean, not to
There,
not
there
those
was
that
a time though, but there
saying.
was a time where you wanted a lot of kids like that.
Yeah, because I didn't know any better. I wanted a football team, a basketball team, because you could have because it's 11, right, for the football, right, and then you have 5 for a basketball squad, right, and then you can have your golfer or your baseball player or something. You could have them out there. But then I had some nephews, then I had a niece, and then I had my own, and I was like, what was I sitting on? Wanting 20 of them.
It only takes one savage toddler to change that mindset.
So yeah, we can come on. Let's move on. This
Say
20
no
kid
more.
kind of.
Say no more. 20 kids is depressing. Oh, by the way, I saw an article. We can cover this next week. But I saw an article that said that Nick Cannon felt bad because he's not able to spend as much time with all 11 of his kids as he would like to. To
Yes,
your
absolutely.
point, because because how could you? It's 11. in different places. Anyway, we'll get off of that. On to the next one. Fair or foul? Let's get it.
I can hear Missy
Hey,
Elliott.
Can y'all just let me?
I would think the same thing.
Okay. So, all right, hold on. Let's take the shot first.
Okay.
All right, I'll do it all again. Okay, so fun fact. It's funny you said Missy. When I put that together, the background track I was thinking of was was it the You Jingling Baby? Go ahead, baby. Was that one? Was that Missy?
No. No.
Anyway, it was that song, some other Missy Elliott song. It was that song and some other Missy Elliott song that I was thinking about, but obviously royalties. Ain't nobody got no money to be paying Missy. So then I found that one.
There we go. Yeah.
Same page. That's what's up. All right. Okay, so while we're talking about what's going on in the households and all these other types of things, the first fair or foul I want to get into, I'm gonna switch gears just a second. To the rap game. Switch to the rap game real quick. So, the New York Times, I don't have a picture or video or anything like this. I'm gonna just bring it up. The New York Times labeled or named rather Kendrick Lamar the greatest rapper of this generation or his generation. Fair or foul? Fair or foul? Kendrick Lamar is the greatest of this generation.
Ooh, can it be both?
Yeah, I mean, it's our fucking show. It can be whatever we want it to be.
So I say it's absolutely fair because Kendrick in this generation like hit hard with something that seemed mainstream but really wasn't, and then sustained like a very, I want to call it avant-garde style of rap that mesmerized people, pulled people together. Like he kind of like had a presence like Pac just for a much shorter time. And so like he's like he was that dude. It's foul though, because I honestly think J. Cole should be the one. J. Cole.
And I was just about to say, J. Cole fans and Drake fans are like, are you sure?
Like the popularity of Drake, I would say yes, but the like sheer like artistry of hip hop is somewhere between J. Cole and Kendrick.
What's your thought, LB?
I was thinking about the criteria that they're using, because I mean, like Kev said, actually, when I saw that J. Cole was the one of the first names that came into my head, but then I thought about artistry and just like the schemes and just all around. Actually, I actually thought about what's his name? Oh my God, what's his name? Yeah.
Gambino.
Gambino, yeah. I thought about him too. But so if we're going like a full package, yeah, I'm with Kev with the fair, and because it's like J. Cole, man. I'm riding with you. Listen, if I had to pick, I'm sorry, I gotta roll with. But then Kendrick came with the humble. I was rocking with the man. It's just it's our show. I'm picking both.
Yeah, word. Okay. Fair
Have a
enough.
battle.
J. Cole.
Here's what I'm at.
Get them to do a battle. Let's get
Yeah, I
both.
need them to be on a versus. J. Cole versus Kendrick Lamar.
Let's get a versus
J.
going.
Cole, give me a thumbs up in the comments if you would watch
versus.
that. If you would stop what you're doing and watch J. Cole versus Kendrick Lamar in a versus or a freestyle battle. Actually, I think I'd want to see a freestyle battle. But that said, to that point of what's the criteria? My question is, what is considered this generation?
For hip hop.
For hip hop, yeah. What's considered this generation? Like timeline wise?
Some 12 to 15 years. Maybe 10 to 15.
Okay, so let's say 10 to 15. Let's say 10 to 15. Lil Wayne's in that. I don't know if I'm putting Kendrick over Wayne. Eminem is in that. I don't know if I'm putting Kendrick over Eminem.
That's the tail end of Eminem. So like, you know.
Okay, fair enough.
I feel like you put Lil Wayne in there. I feel like some of his later stuff was just to make an album in order to get out of that contract. Like, I don't know, because he's getting paid to say nothing on the track. Like, I don't know.
Well, okay, but if we're talking, let's say if we go in 15 years, we're going back to 2007. You know what I'm saying?
We getting old.
Yeah, y'all niggas getting old. Look, okay, well, I'm gonna do both too, because I don't ever want to take anything away from Kendrick, because that dude is a monster. He's a monster.
Yeah.
You know, I would question what the criteria is. I would love to see him versus J. Cole in a freestyle. I'd love to see them in the verses. I'd love to see them on the same track. Like my two favorite rappers are Busta Rhymes and Eminem, and the song "Calm Down." Yeah, that was the one for me. You know, so I would love to see them do something like that. But you know, I'll say both. This is both fair and foul. You know, I can't be mad at the comparison. He's done his thing. He's paid his dues. I haven't heard his whole album from this year all the way through, but I heard J. Cole's last year when it came out, and that was incredible. So, you know,
J. Cole made a hit song out of his ring light.
You feel me?
Literally recorded the neighbors trying to raid his house the police trying to raid his house because the neighbors said he was selling drugs. Showed the whole thing at his concert and wrote a hit song about it. Like, he's a true storyteller. That's
what I'm saying. And so for me, again, being that my two favorite are Busta Rhymes and Eminem. Why? Storytelling. They're lyricists. Like, you know, they put words together. Like, sometimes you have to go back and think about it and go, damn, he said, wait. Okay. Like, there's one that's going around for Eminem. There's one that's going around IG. I see it from time to time, where he said he had to be stomped out by 40 people to suffer a defeat. And then you go back and you look at it again. You say you have to be stomped out by 40 people to suffer 80 feet, 2 feet per person. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's the kind of shit that I like. You know what I'm saying? So nothing against Kendrick, but I'm saying J. Cole again. He can make, you know, anything out of anything, and that shouldn't, you know, we shouldn't gloss over that. That's all I'm saying. Busta and Eminem would smoke both of them though. So yeah, I said it. Let me know in the comments if you think I'm wrong. Busta and Eminem would smoke both of them. Also, I would pay real money to see that battle.
Starts firing walking away from it. Yeah.
All right. Off of that. Let's take a look at this next one. All right, going back to, you know, the battle of the sexes. All right. I came across this a little. This was actually a little old, a couple months ago. But I came across a conversation between Lisa Leslie and LeBron James and Draymond Green, and they were talking about pay equality within the WNBA versus the NBA. Caveat: the U.S. women's national team,
Hmm.
who is dope, right? I think they've won 4 FIFA World Cups. I think they've won
More,
4
more
in the
than
last
men.
couple years. A lot more than the men. The men, comparatively are trash. All right. But based on their negotiations, they got their nice little alimony check because the men advanced. So that's something else to be kind of have going around in your head as we talk about this. But that said, you're gonna need a shot or two for this one. Let's listen at this conversation with Lisa Leslie talking about equity in the NBA.
There's one thing that I don't want to say change, that you feel that can help the WNBA's game out.
Help the game out. Okay, so I think the game is looking great. I think it's evolved great. I believe that player for player, players are more talented, faster. You can see they're getting that individual training, ball handling skills, shooting. The game is phenomenal. I thought they're playing at a high level. I'm very proud of them. I support the WNBA still. I will always. Obviously we'd love to have Brittany back home. That's important.
For sure.
Close
Shout
to
out
the heart.
BG. Yep.
Shout out to BG. She's never, far from our thoughts.
Yep.
But the WNBA is rocking. What could we have more? I mean, I just think, from a salary standpoint, it'd be great for the women to be able to make more money. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of hard work. I think I saw something that said, like, one player that makes maybe $12 million on the NBA team could cover the whole WNBA salary.
Yeah, that's insane.
So that's kind of like crazy. And again, we're what, 26 years young, so it's not like we're comparing ourselves to the NBA, but I do feel like the pay gap would be something that, we could just take a donation around the NBA, maybe one night y'all don't go to the casino.
I have something on this, though, because it pisses me off.
I feel like I wanted to hit hard again with Draymond going off.
That Draymond part was the one.
So let's talk about that because y'all heard that. So fair or foul, the fellas, the NBA should spend their money differently to subsidize or to help subsidize the WNBA. I'm gonna jump to Rich first because Kev, I know you got a lot on this, so I'm gonna jump to Rich first.
So, all right. Oh my gosh. All right. So I'm gonna say this is foul. This is not fair. Only because if we're keeping things equal, if we're keeping things, it's supposed to be, apples to apples and not apples to oranges, then, why is the WA, if we're in this movement of equality, why are we asking for handouts? I mean, why aren't we thinking of ways to thinking of ways to generate more income, to pull in more income? So with that aspect of it, I would have to say that it's foul. Because it's like, you want to be so equal, you want to be so independent, and it's like, but then at the same hand, you're saying, can you give us some help? You're extending a hand for this help, right? I talked about this a little bit before, right? That whole, under my covering. I just felt like that kind of was like what it was. It was like, yeah, we're out here, we're doing our thing, with blah, blah, blah. And then it's like, but could you hand us a little, could you help out a little? Now, I'm not saying I'm not saying that I wouldn't want to help out. I'm just saying don't jump out there like everything's equal or everything's like this. Oh my gosh, if I could find the right words, because I'm sure about to get cancer. I can feel it. I can feel it coming up.
Amen.
I'm gonna just say this, right? If you're shouting equality and all of this, at the same time, the NBA, the NFL, and all these other leagues had their time in which they had to suffer through, in which these guys were not getting paid big bucks. Football had leather for helmets and concussions and all of this, and had to build all of that up. So yes, it did take some time. It did take, being in that dirt, being in that grind, players, and even still, it's still owners to players getting paid is still a big gap. So if you guys, if the goal is to make more money, let's come to the table and figure out how to make that happen. If we're talking about equality, you got to think about how to bring in more money.
Period.
I'll leave it at that.
Good take. Go ahead, Kev.
Yo, well, I know it's a little random, but of course today is LeBron. Well, not that random. Today is LeBron James's birthday, and he just went for like some wild triple double. Like he's 38. I really want to appreciate LeBron.
He's 30. He's 38 and he's going bald.
He's
going bald, and his kid is almost NBA age.
And he's spent more years in the NBA than like half his life. So 19 years he's been playing. Well, 20 years he's been playing. He's 38 years. He hasn't. Like that's insane to think about. And he's averaging 31 points a game.
Is he going to be the Tom Brady of the NBA?
He is, but he's
also 45, 50 years old. Oh, he's already there. He's already the oldest NBA player.
Not the oldest, but I'm saying
not the oldest. No.
I'm saying he'll be able to perform at a high level for the next 6-7 years.
Yeah,
because he's
much longer.
Smart, so it's not just like athleticism. Like his brain for the game is insane. But to answer the question, because I know that's not where we were, and I would hate to do the man thing over the woman thing, but it's fair for them as a organization to want more money, to wish they had more revenue. It's foul if they think it should happen the way it happens for the NBA, because like we all know, well, we don't all know. So the NBA can only have the kind of contracts that it does for players. The NFL can only have those kind of contracts. Any sport can only create contracts for the deals that they have that go to player revenue. So for the NBA, that biggest chunk is TV contracts, because the NBA has a great deal with all the places that the NBA is shown: ESPN, TNT, NBA TV, like a bunch of different entities. That's money that's going to come in. Now, of course, you can stream it wherever you are. So like the money's coming into the NBA where they can split that piece of the pie bigger for players. That's why their salaries can be big. The WNBA doesn't generate that kind of revenue. They've been operating at a loss since they began. And it really starts with the attendance, because many people don't attend those kinds of games. And by many, I know thousands is like, it's relative.
It's relative.
Like,
it's relative.
Yeah. You get 20,000 fans at an NBA game. You get 2,000 fans at a WNBA game. So, TV companies aren't jumping on that when there's no audience. Thus, you can't have the money.
So, yeah, ultimately, this is what it boils down to. This is a delusion that I believe many people, but for the purpose of this conversation, I'm going to say many women tend to have about money. And that is that, yeah, you can want to have more money. You can want to make more money. Hey, guess what? at the job I work at and the job I was working at before, I thought I should be paid more money. I could use, you know, anything and say, yeah, well, this person does, less work than I do, and they get paid double what I get paid, so I should get paid more money. I mean, right? But that's not how it works, right? Okay, businesses have expenses. You can't just say the women's game is just as good as the men's game, and it might be fundamentally, but to say it's just as good as the men's game and therefore they should get paid just like the men is ridiculous. It's absurd. It's a silly thought. Where's the money gonna come from? So, like, okay, what's her name? Wait a minute. Kelsey, was it Kelsey Plum? Is that her name? Kelsey Plum?
Yeah,
Okay. Oh, what the fuck?
fine. We famous
All right. We
Again.
famous, though.
again. What did
Okay.
we say?
Pretty good. Should we block him or put him in timeout? What the hell, man? We start talking about basketball and it's XXX fun out here. 2.0 fun.
Next level.
That new shit. Anyway, so this is the bottom line. This is the bottom line. Okay. The reason they don't get paid is because they're still trying to fill a stadium. See, they still want to play in an arena like the men, but only 2,000 people show up to the arena like the men, right? That arena sits 30, 40,000 people. You got 4,000 people in there. And listen, 4,000 people is legit. That's dope. If we're in a field house, not if we in a stadium. So Kelsey Plum mentioned get the revenue sharing, right? Like she, was talking about if somebody buys her jersey, which, over under one time, have you ever seen anybody in a Kelsey Plum jersey?
They wear them to the games.
Okay.
I
You ever
actually
seen anybody in real life? Like
Well,
not on TV?
wildly enough, I don't see many people wear jerseys in real life outside of like actually attending games anymore.
Fair enough. Okay.
I can tell you the last person I saw with a jersey on.
Fair enough. All right, cool. What I'll say is that again, I don't know how many people are actually buying her jersey, but I know her league and therefore her franchise is not profitable, right? And if there's no profit, you can't get paid. The truth is, everybody, if this were a men's driven league, try this again. I've been drinking. If this were a male driven league, if this was a male league, they'd already be canceled. It'd already be over. It'd already be a wrap because you can't fail for 26 years straight and survive in man world. You can't not turn a profit for 26 years. Some of y'all listening are younger than the WNBA and have already turned more of a profit in your lifetime than the WNBA has. Okay? That's a fact. We can't pay you off what ain't there. Which brings me to the women's soccer team who were complaining about getting paid more. They're better. They should get paid more, blah, blah, blah. That's true. They are good. But you get paid based on how many people watch you. And if ain't nobody watching you.
Well, soccer
So
big.
it's not a
Soccer big.
Men's soccer big.
Women country
men's soccer is big.
Country women's soccer, not like whatever the WNBA equivalent to MLS would be here, but like the country women's soccer is big. It just ain't big with us.
Is it bigger or smaller than men's soccer? Countrywide.
I wait, country-wise?
Countrywide, yeah.
I would say, well, that's the reciprocal. So bigger here. We know more about U.S. women's soccer than we know about men's.
Right, but U.S. women's soccer is a national team, which, by the way, is on record. They got beat by high school kids. Okay, all right. So, but I'm saying the women's national soccer team plays worldwide. What I'm saying is women's soccer worldwide is not as big as men's soccer worldwide. Therefore, they can't, they shouldn't reasonably get paid as much as something that's not as big as their sport. It is what it is.
So I guess what makes that different is that it's like the times they're talking about are worldwide things when everybody is paying attention. Like, and I'll have to like sit on this thought, but like say, like the Olympics, when the Olympics is happening, everybody's paying attention to everything. So if on that stage where everybody's paying attention to everything, they're outperforming the men and have been, are they not getting as much attention? I think it's more global thing than it would be, like, I don't want to call them regular competitions, but like regular country competitions.
But let's be honest though, even in the Olympics, there are some sports that are more popular than others, right? Like there's, the basketball is pretty popular, like, in the Americas at least, right? Because of course we dominate that sport. Gymnastics is becoming more popular because we had people like Simone Biles and who was it before her? Um,
Uh,
I'm sorry. Gabby Douglas. Gabby
yeah.
Douglas. Yeah. Um, people like that. We had people like that we could like look at and say, okay, yeah, they're dominant and they're from here. So we're many are more paying attention to that person than they are paying attention to the sport. You understand what I'm saying? There are
I
some
get,
people who transcend the sport and they can get more eyes on the sport. And some people, of course, because some will, some won't, so what, right? Some people are gonna watch it because they were supporting Simone Biles and then realize that this person's great, and that person's great, and then go pull up YouTube because we can do that now. What a time to be alive. You go YouTube and pull up all their highlights and become a fan of this person all of a sudden, right? So yes, you can get more eyes on your product if you do that. But at the same time, if there ain't no eyes on your product, if there ain't no paying eyes on your product, you can't reasonably expect to be paid more. You can't say because my workload is the same, I should get paid the same as these people because our workload is the same, right? If you have a search engine that's not Google, you can't expect the people that work for you to get paid the same as Google. Google is Google. Google, you. Google, you. You see what I'm saying? NBA, you. And that's fine. My problem is the competition part. Because Lisa Leslie said, I'm gonna get off of this. Lisa Leslie said that we're not competing with the men. We're not trying to compete with the men. I disagree. I think you are competing with the men, and that's the problem. I think you are trying to compete with the men. That's the problem.
Their seasons exist in the NBA's off season because there was no competition.
Right. So it's not supposed to be a competition. So what they should do is spend more time working on making their product more profitable than bitching and moaning about how the men get paid more. The men get paid more because they focused on making their product more profitable.
Wildly, like WNBA players get paid and treated better abroad than they do here, and I think that might have a large like contributing factor to why this like really messes with them so much. Like WNBA players are adored abroad, and I mean like paid well, most better than here. It's just they want to be in America. They want to participate in that association. But yeah, their treatment outside of here is way better.
So I guess the question is,
the
I
same
guess,
the
I guess
same
the
is true as of men too, though. That's Stephon Marbury, for example, has a statue, I think in Japan. Um, you know what I'm saying? And if it
Shoes.
like, thank you, Shani. If and like I think he has a statue out there, um, because he was treated so well out there. And I gotta agree with this. Then go there,
the
play
the
for
one
them.
the one above that too, though, where she talks about fan base support. I mean, I would imagine that they get treated. What I'm thinking, okay, what does the treated better look like? And then there's okay, why? Is it that because they have that fan base which generates that profit in order for a business to say, hey, we gonna treat you like, like royalty because you're pulling, let's be real, it's business. So if they're pulling, if they got a fan base support, they're pulling, the fans that come to spend money, of course they're gonna get treated better. I would just like to know, what does that treated better look like? It sounds like it's more pay. It sounds like, more fan support. It sounds like they get this, they get that, they get perks. But there's a reason why they get that, and I would venture to say that it's because of that fan base. It's because of, those people in that country or that area. They just, that is where the fans like it more. That's just, go to where the money is.
Their options are different too, though, in those countries. You know what I mean? Like, for example, most of those countries don't have football, like American football. You know what I'm saying? A lot of those countries don't have that. That's why the NFL's been, having their regular season games out there, and you see they get record sellout crowds every time. You know what I mean? So probably a lot of it also has to do with the fact that they're in their culture in their countries, they don't have access to as much as maybe we have here in the Americas. But they also are many of those countries are less of a meritocracy than America, right? Like you get paid based on the revenue you generate. And again, if this was a male driven league, the WNBA would have been canceled many moons ago. Y'all remember NFL Europe?
It didn't last long.
It
Slightly,
didn't
yeah.
last long. Well, it lasted like 15 years, right?
And then like had a love child called the XFL.
Yeah. Well, that was a whole different thing. That lasted 1 year. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, but the reason why that lasted 1 year, because outside of the first game of all the, pomp and circumstance, so I wonder what this is gonna be like. Outside the first game, it was like, this is some bullshit. They didn't make any money. They had to shut down. They didn't have the opportunity or the privilege to come out and say, hey, our players should get paid as much as NFL players. Our players work just as hard as NFL players. We don't have the privilege to say stuff like that. That's how it works in business world. That's how it works in man world. And that's how it works in the world outside of soccer, I guess, because, the men advanced and the women got $6 million off of that. If they got a split, $13 million. They got a split. Do you think that's fair? The men advance, the women get paid $6 million. Is that fair?
What would have been the reciprocal
What do you mean?
if the women advanced and the men didn't?
Oh, you mean like, would the men get paid if the women advance?
Right.
No, of course not. Why would the men get paid if the women advance? Why would the women take money? Why would the women be expected to take money out of their pocket to subsidize the men?
I'm saying if that would have been the stipulation, then at least it were equal both ways. Like if the women advanced and the men didn't, and there was still money given to the men as a result of the women passing, then I mean everything is fair game.
No, that's not how it worked at all. I wish it was. I wish, because honestly, bro, if it was like that, I'd be like, well, I mean, it is what it is. It's shared revenue, blah, blah, blah. But no, they don't get paid. The men don't get paid a dime for the women's success, but the women get paid an automatic 50% of whatever the men's success is. Every
That's
time they advance, the women get paid. So again, the women's soccer team, and you know what? That's fine. If you're my wife, that's fine. If you're my wife, that's fine. If I'm taking care of you, if
I
you're
want half, Eddie.
huh?
I want
Have
half.
Eddie.
You want half. We
Way
gotta
cheap.
move on. We gotta move on. We can stay there all day. We gotta move on. That's good stuff. I'm gonna jump forward a little bit. We're gonna jump to the main thing real quick. So let's look at this interesting situation because again, what happened? All right, let's tie this all up. What happened with the men's soccer team is the same thing that Kev you talked about, and that's sometimes you just stay quiet about certain things that may or may not be happening. This is something that men do specifically. You stay silent about certain things for the sake of peace, for the sake of keeping the peace. So, and I think that shows itself in different ways. But this particular video I came across, let's take a look at it. It's a couple minutes long, but you're definitely going to want to have your shot ready for this one. This is unfortunately, we covered this a little bit last season as well. Check that episode out. I'll let y'all know what it is in the description. But we talked about what happens when men open up, when we speak out on how we feel, right? So there's the extreme, there's one extreme and the other. But let's talk about it. Let's look at what happens often when men open up. Take a look.
There's no job, no goals. Forgive me, I'm a single parent. I have to work. This kid would pick up his two little sisters, make sure that they eat, make sure that their homework was done. If I had to stay late, he'd make sure they took a bath and put them to sleep. And then he changed.
I'm tired. I'm depressed. I'm tired.
You know, okay.
I'm tired. I'm just tired. I'm hurt. I've been through stuff in my life.
Because
That's personal. No, it don't even matter about none of that.
It does matter.
No, listen, it does. It does. But I'm tired. Like I said, I'm depressed. I have personal things going on. Sometimes that
Tell us what those personal things
that
are.
can stop people. Me being depressed.
What are those personal things you're going through?
Like,
stop yelling about them and tell us.
Because you gave me too much, my friends were jealous of me. I always have fake friends around me. That's what I'm saying. It's cool that you did that, but you also got to understand what that brings, what that attracts, Mark. You got to feel me on that. That's what I'm saying.
You got some twisted logic going on here. That's some twisted logic.
I'm just saying, it's mental things that can mess with
Okay,
that.
but
It's mental things that bothers me in the physical world.
That you're depressed.
I don't have motivation. How can I have motivation? Yes, how can I have my motivation when everything's handed to me?
Right, so you're telling us that you're depressed.
Yeah, I'm depressed. I'm always depressed. I'm in a dark spot. I know I'm in a dark spot, and I've been there for a long time. Best friend, yo. That's my best friend. I can't even talk to my mom.
Okay. So has he had a problem with alcohol? He has a problem with alcohol. He's an alcoholic.
Hi, when did you start drinking? How old were you?
Probably 13.
13, okay.
Probably 13.
Very early.
She be drinking with me. She put me on.
I put you in a
You stayed at a hotel that the show put you up in, and you ran up almost a $200 bar bill.
Here, let's talk about it. One bottle of whiskey, $60. One bottle of premium tequila, $71.18. One bottle of regular tequila, $17.52. We got some beer, a couple soft drinks, and an orange juice.
I have a question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
You did this yesterday.
Yes, ma'am.
Why would you think that's okay?
I didn't.
It's all something that, as an alcoholic, I'm very familiar with. It's the woe is me story. I'm so sorry. Well, feel sorry for me because I was deprived of this, that, and the other thing, and I was raised really well, just like this kid was. This is all, I don't feel any emotion toward him right now.
Why?
Because it's all a game. It's all his MO.
Get his way?
His MO. His manipulation of his, I would cry. I'm sorry, Mom. I'm never going to drink again. I'm never going to drive.
Lots to unpack there.
So that last lady, so I feel like I watched, I seen this one and I watched a lot more of the clip, and she was saying like she was just like him, like I grew up how you grew up, and what she said she suffered from alcohol abuse or whatever. And the first thing that came to my mind is like, you did not grow up like this dude grew up. So stop it. Please stop it. Stop
That's a
thinking
fact.
that you know his story. Stop thinking that, it's this, like your experience was his experience and he's playing games. Secondly, I believe him when he says, I don't know why, but I believe him when he says, he was drinking at 13 and she was right there with me. Because obviously there was not a man in the household, and he had to be that man because there was no man in the household, and his mom was relying on him. And you see, she was giving him all the praise for he would pick up his little sister, he would do this and he would do that, and blah blah blah. And all of a sudden he changed. Well, when did he have time to be a kid? When did he have time to be the son and not your friend and not your husband and not your, like,
Not your husband.
come
Say
on.
that
So,
again.
he's been through some things, and quite honestly, he probably still has the mindset like he didn't get to experience a certain period of growing up. And so that he, you know, his mind is probably already like just trying to what is that like, and it's like he wants to be able to to get past this depression, but he doesn't even know what it looked like, probably. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't know he didn't have that experience of what does this look like growing up. He had to be that growing up based on what his mother was telling him to do. So for them to set up, man, I don't know. Like part of it, yes, I'm not going to say that, I'm not going to give him a pass for some of the things he was doing, to either whether it was getting back or whether he was just, an alcoholic. So like literally he was just going off of, he just wanted to feel better. And people do things that sometimes they don't think about in order just to feel better, in order just to escape, what they're going through. And so, he could have, yeah, he ran up a bill. Yeah, he did those things. He owned it. He owned it right then and there. But to say
I
he's
found that
looking,
part very interesting.
to say, he's having a pity party. There should have been some men on that panel. I'd say that.
And as the more I think about the bill, the more I think it could have been just like piss poor communication. Where I mean, he felt like because they had brought him in as their guest, that everything was on them. Because I'm not saying I'd have gone to that extreme, but I'd run up a tab if you tell me like I'm your guest and you've got everything taken care of. Everything is everything. So if the miscommunication is there, then I can understand that, because I can guarantee you all the stuff he ordered, alcoholic or not, he wasn't drinking by himself in that night. So somebody was there with him, probably his mother who put him on. The part that like bothers me about this whole thing is that he was invalidated by literally every single one of them. Like even if you don't agree, if you don't see it the same way, if you think that you were raised the same, that lady's not black, but okay, another story for another day. Like all of those things can be true for you, and you can still validate the way that he feels. Well, like I can understand why you would see it this way. Now, here's why I had to do it like that, or here's why I thought to do it like that. But you can validate me before explaining why you don't necessarily agree. And for every single person on the panel to like take him in that direction, I was like, you got to be kidding me, because usually there's a rational person in the room, and not one of them was that.
Of course not. Of course not. It was a man complaining. The thing that bothered me the most is that I see that very often. This is why a lot of men, suffer in silence. And I even see some women on social media making fun of men suffering in silence, right? That we keep our mouth shut in a lot of areas for the sake of peace. Every one of us can think of a situation, every man can think of a situation where, they were in an area where some lady specifically, right? Some woman specifically, you sometimes a mom, sometimes an aunt, sometimes a cousin, whatever, sometimes a friend was acting crazy. And just to get to the next step, to get to the next thing, you just said, all right, whatever, whatever, whatever you want to do. Want to go over there? Fine, let's go. Excuse me. We all know that feeling. It's worse because it's coming from his mom. And so, a question I've been asking for a while, I've asked it a few times on this show and just in general. Um, Often, what I hear from women is that men don't step up, men aren't being men, men aren't, oh, there we go. Okay. Men aren't this, that, or the other, right? And one of the questions I ask is, well, if you've conditioned 2.5 generations of men that, we're trash, we cheat, we're not there for our kids, we're not good husbands, we're not good fathers, we're not, you know, good workers, they don't need us for anything you know, but the D, and they got the roads for that now. So, what do they need us for? Right. You know what I'm saying? When that narrative is actually in real life, like we're actually in real life hearing this stuff, right? And we have been hearing it for generations.
And
How
seeing
could
it.
you then expect and seeing it? How could you then expect men to still hold on to traditional values? How could you then expect men to be the traditional husbands and fathers that you want us to be, that you saw your grandfather as or wished your daddy was? How can you expect that if literally all we're being told, even by our mothers, is, you know, negative things? Or, as long as we're doing whatever she says, everything's fine. And that's what I took from that. As long as he did everything that she said, everything was fine. Soon as he started having his own independent thoughts, now he's a problem. He said that she drank with him. He said she drank with him. I believe him.
He
And,
said she put me on.
and if he did it at 13, if it was at 13, I don't, she might not be lying that she didn't drink with him at 13, but he probably witnessed her drinking, probably had, you know, guys over or something like that.
No,
He
no.
probably witnessed some.
He said she was she's my best friend. They had a
That part.
friendship they had a almost scary relationship is what they had.
Yeah.
He was in tears crying that they had a falling out, that he couldn't even talk to his best friend. He was talking about his mother because he didn't have any other friends. He said that. He said he had fake friends
Yep.
around him because she
Yep.
gave him everything. And he also said, how am I supposed to have ambition to do anything when he was saying basically everything's been given to me. She gave him everything.
So
she bought him all the nice stuff.
And not that you shouldn't buy your kids nice things, but you know, I think that back to Kev's point, and I'll let you jump in too. Um, he was invalidated in that thought, immediately invalidated in that thought of, listen, you gave me everything. So I had people that were around me because, I had stuff. but they weren't real. And I realized that at a point, going back to what we talked about at the beginning of the show, or what I talked about at the beginning of the show, realizing that, people that pretend to be for you ain't always for you. People that act like they for you ain't always for you. Skin folk ain't kinfolk. So anyway, for the sake of time, I guess we got to get off of that. We got to get off of that. But I'm very disappointed with that entire panel. I'm disappointed that they invalidated this brother. And the thing about it is, again, that's what men tend to deal with. That's why we stay quiet. I'm fortunate that my wife is somebody I can speak to. I can have conversations with. I can be real with. I can be vulnerable with. And she's the same way. And we won't use those things against each other because that's sacred. Like that was sacred vulnerability, right? Most men see the opposite. We see whatever we say gets invalidated. Whatever we say is, especially if it's against something you did, that didn't really happen. You've got some twisted logic there, right? That's a problem. That's a problem. And again, it's a culture issue. That ain't got nothing to do with nobody racism. That ain't got nothing to do with nobody's Republican or Democrat. By the way, they're both two wings of the same bird. They're both two wings on the same bird. All right. Anyway. But yeah, I'm disappointed with all of that, man. That's not how you handle that situation. He's unfortunately probably, I'd love to find out what happened, the fallout from this, but he's probably,
different.
screwed up, bro. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of judgmental shit. Trailer Park Judge Judy. Yeah, that's another thing. That's another thing. We just came off a topic talking about how the WNBA players, with Lisa Leslie, a legend, believes that the NBA players should spend their money differently and subsidize the NBA, I'm sorry, the WNBA, as if they're not already subsidizing the WNBA. And then we turn around and we have a woman who was once an alcoholic who, instead of being the voice of reason and saying, hey, listen, when I was in my alcoholic phase, I was going through some serious nonsense, and these were the things that I would do. And, I think we should have some compassion on him and listen to what he's saying. Instead of doing that, she used her growth to vilify him, to vilify this guy. What? What? What world are we living in? What world are we living in? Man world. That's how it works in man world. You know why? Because in man world, we can't be vulnerable, really. In man world, you got to suck it up, buttercup, and get to work.
Well, maybe that's the place she was coming from. Maybe she identifies as, oh, never mind. We'll save that one. I'm just saying she could have definitely taken that chance to say, well, have you tried this and have you tried that? What are some of the things you're doing? I've been there, let's talk after, or, let's go through a couple of things.
There's two extremes. We talked about this last week. I'm sorry. We talked about this last week. There's the extreme of, you're super vulnerable and this is what happens to you. And then the opposite side of that is you don't say anything, right? You're quiet, you're reserved, you don't say a word. And we all know how that is, where you're not in touch with your feelings, you're not in touch with, your emotions. You need to open up to me, right? So you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't.
I gotta go watch the rest of that clip because I saw the whole clip of what I saw, which was the straight run through. But I want to see if there's any more, because here's what I don't want to say. From what I saw, they jumped on him for even doing his mother wrong, whatever he did for doing his mother wrong. But not once did the panel, from the clip that I saw, not once did the panel say, "Hey, mom, why did you throw all of this on your son at that age?" I could be wrong. Like I said, maybe it did. Maybe it did come up.
The first thing that she did,
not as
though, you
much
notice the first thing
badgering.
that she did was the very first thing that she did was fall on the sword. I'm a single mother. That was the very first thing that she did. So I'm a single mother. In other words, everything I did was justified because I'm a single mother. That's how I read that. Maybe I'm tripping. What y'all thought? I can be wrong. I can be wrong.
It sounds
Shout
better.
out in the comments if you know what movie that is. I could be wrong.
Damn, I can't think.
I've also heard the saying that some married women are single mothers. So,
Ooh. Explain.
They married a man who don't do nothing.
What's that mean?
That can mean a lot of things because I've seen several versions of it. So, there could be and this is because of how important it is to me. But if you, as the woman, are taking your child or children to church every Sunday and your husband never goes, y'all aren't equally yoked. Um, and I'm not saying doesn't go because he has to work, but like you get the kids ready, walk out the house, go to church. He gets up just in time to watch the football game, and like y'all don't spiritually grow together. That's unequal to me.
That's fact.
So
Yeah.
that could, it could be something on the spiritual side, but it also could be those, physical, tangible things. Like there's no assistance with the kids, there's no helping with anything around the house. He might not even be the breadwinner. He might just be the dude, who makes minimum wage and calls out of work every other day, borrows her car after he drops her off at work. Ain't no balance to that. Deep in hell.
How do you not know that before you say I do?
Blind date, 90 Day Fiance.
Like, why the fuck would you do that? Sorry. I'm sorry.
They swipe right.
I've been drinking.
They both
I'm
swipe right.
drunk. I'm playing. I'm kidding.
I mean, not even that. Like, even if it's, so I'm gonna just put this scenario out here, right? We, let's just say they're dating. They're having such a great time dating, woo woo woo, but everything is all surface level. So everything is a good time. We're going out here, we're going out to dates, we're going out to partying, we're going out here, But then what happens is kid comes, we get married, kid changes the whole dynamic. Now there's no time for dates off, on the whim. There's no time for partying and clubbing. There's no time for all of this. So your life has now
means your ass got to grow up.
If you haven't gone deeper than just the good times,
Shondo.
So, okay, but what is a husband?
A helpmate.
Is it? Or is that the wife?
I think they got to be that for each other. And I mean, let me not diminish the leader role, but the man is the leader role. But I think particularly in the household we're talking about now, like the husband has to be as much of a helpmeet to the wife as the wife has to be to the husband. Like there's, this stuff looks a lot different now.
I think servant leadership is legit though. Like, so like, I absolutely lead my household, right? But I absolutely defer to my wife in, many household situations because, she, she runs the house. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm the leader, but this is her domain, right? So, our roles are expressed and agreed upon, and that's what we do, and that's what I think it should be. Um, and to your point, again, yeah, the man is the head of the household, but that doesn't mean you don't listen to your wife. So again, I guess my question and go back to that. How do you not know that before you get married?
People get married for the wrong reasons.
Because when purpose is not known, misuse is inevitable.
We're gonna have to
So
add
what's
that
the
to
purpose of marriage? What'd you say?
we gotta add that to the drinking game.
Yeah, I was about to say because that's
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we gotta add that one. It's the truth though. Purpose isn't known, misuse is inevitable, right? Yeah, this is true. I did. This is true. And the wild thing is, I don't even remember what the thought was. Whatever it was, I deferred. That's the point, right? So, servant leadership is legit. That's a legitimate thing. Like I lead by serving my family. That's why I said earlier that family time, Rich, that you talked about, is such a flex. We don't talk about it enough, but that's a flex for real. You know. Anyway, all right, we got to move on. We got to move on, man. We over time. We sorry, y'all. But we appreciate y'all rolling with us, man. Let's move on.
rapid fire.
Hey, rapid fire. We'll figure out how to make it happen.
More fire, Buster, please.
I need to break out like a couple of shot glasses for rapid fire so they'll all be ready. So we can go.
Or just drink straight from the bottle.
We'll just drink straight from the bottle. Is
that
what we're doing? Is that what we're doing?
Okay.
Is that what we're doing?
No.
Thumbs up in the comments. There's a few of y'all still with us. Thumbs up in the comments if you think we should just hit from the bottom.
Don't y'all do it.
You're trying to be upright.
Don't y'all do it, man. Don't y'all do it. Don't y'all do it, man.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
We need big thumbs down if you want us to just chill out and not go back to back and shot for shot. All right, cool. Anyway,
we just got to drink and walk. We ain't got to drink.
Hey, rapid fire, man. Let's look at this real quick. Michelle Obama. We were talking a little bit about parenting. Let's look at what she had to say.
Question, but isn't there a part of you that wants to be a trusted friend too, or do you just put yourself in the parent box?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm the parent.
That's a no.
What I say.
This during this gentle parenting, then Mrs. Obama.
But Kelly, this is the thing. It's like once you decide you want your child to be your friend, now you're worried about them liking you.
That's right.
And there's so much of parenting that has nothing to do with them liking you. So much of what you're going to have to teach them is counter to what they want.
That's right.
You know, with a friend, you want them happy all the time.
Yes.
Your kids have to learn how to live in their unhappiness. They have to learn how to live with unfairness, and they have to learn it in their house. Their first bout of unfairness can't be at school, you know, or when they're 30.
She said it all.
But the one thing I'm gonna say is, I actually don't want my son to want friends that want him happy all the time. That's of all the things she said, which she was motherfucking spitting, but that would be the one. I don't want my son to have friends that want him to be happy all the time. Like I want him to have friends that are going to talk to him the same way that I will. Just, I love you, so I'm going to tell you the truth rather than tell you what you want to hear. Those are the kinds of friends that I want him to have, So her, that's the only thing I disagree with, where she said, you want your friends want you to be happy all the time, or you want your friends to be happy with you all the time. No. Sometimes I want you to be frustrated because I told you the ugly truth.
But you know what though? You get that now though as a grown man, as an adult, as a man. You know what I'm saying? When you were younger, it probably not. You probably, like most people, conflated disagreement with hatred. You know, a lot of people do that.
And that's
And I
why
think when you're a parent, you damn sure you can't. I don't believe you can aim to be your child's friend. I think if you're your child's parent and you're a good parent, you'll end up being your child's friend. You know, like I make no mistake about it. I am not Amaya's friend, but at the same time, she'll tell you her best friend is her mommy and daddy. Her best friends are mommy and daddy,
so
right?
we're probably saying the same thing differently
Yeah,
because like when like K2 asked me today, you are you my best friend? I'm not about to tell him no. And for what it's worth, I am because
right.
I'm the one who's always going to look out for you. I'm the one who's again going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. But I'm also going to like support you and encourage you and all. So like I feel like we're saying the same things, just a little
Yeah.
differently.
No, I think yeah, we're right. Yeah, you're on it. You're on it. You're on it. But I would say that that's your aim. Yes, of course, you're going to be his friend because you have his back. Of course, that's the byproduct of being the father. But you're not. Your aim is not to be the friend. You're the father first. Your charge is to teach him what's next, what to do at the next level. Right? He's a toddler now, but then he's going to be a kindergartner. And then he's gonna be a regular elementary school kid, and then he's gonna be middle school, and so on and so forth,
Mm.
right? Go ahead, LB. I see you.
So, right. No, I was just gonna say. So both of you, you're right. It's just levels. That's all I was gonna say. It's just levels to it, and they gotta understand the levels. Father first. Friend second. So while friend might say, "Yo, hey, it's my boy," the father's gonna be like, hey, cut that, cut it
Right.
out. So I mean, there's levels to it, and I think that definitely to hear for me, I'm like, I'm waiting for the day that my kids say, friend, even friend. I don't even if I get a friend, I'm like, yeah, but I'm still gonna understand that before that friend is, is father's parent. It's I
Right.
have a job to do.
Right.
So when he gets to the age that I am now, and he looks back on all the things that I did and he hated or whatever, he's gonna be like, man, thanks, Dad, for doing XYZ. I understand now why you did it. I was mad at the time, but I understand now. I get it. I
Yeah.
get it,
Yeah. There's a lot of things I think about, certainly with my father that I can look back now and say, yeah, I understand why you did that or you acted this way or whatever. And that's fortunate. I think we should all. You can't change what your background was. It is what it is, or it was what it was, I should say. But you can always do better. And yes, it is hard to describe a color you've never seen before. But you can talk to other people who have seen the color, right? And they can tell you what it looks like, and you can kind of go from there. So I'll leave it at that. But we should not aim. We should not aim. Let me say it this way: how you raise a narcissistic child is by aiming to be their friend. Okay. You do stuff for them to make them feel good, to make them happy. And really, if you think about it, it's really for you. Let's be real. It's really for you. Let's be real. It's really for you. It's really for you. Right? People who are like this, the mom we looked at earlier, just I'm gonna give my kid everything, everything, everything. Let's be real. It's really for you. It's not for them, it's for you. Right? And that's the problem. That's the problem. I'll leave that at that. Thank you. Be here all
Yeah.
night.
Children want nothing until you teach them it means something.
That. That. Big time. All right, cool. I got nothing on that. Last couple things. We got gender neutral diapers, ladies and
Get
gentlemen.
the get the
Gen-
get the
neutral diapers.
get the
Gotcha, bitch. Gotcha, bitch. That's what I'm saying about that. Gender neutral diapers. Kev, they're a foul. What you think, bro?
Foul. It's foul. It's foul. We're not even about to play about this. First of all diapers were born to do the same thing, and they were created to serve the same purpose. Like God had one vision for diapers: catch my poop. Like whether you're 4 or 74, like catch my poop. So stop playing. They're all gender neutral. What makes them gender specific is the design, which the design on the gender neutral diapers was as girly as you can possibly get. And I'm talking about My Little Pony girly, not, dudes in the dugout, whatever. Stop playing. We know
That's
what
not
colors.
neutral. That's not
We know
neutral.
what,
That's
right.
not neutral.
We know what colors are neutral and what aren't. Go away.
I'm just trying to figure out how a baby is gender neutral. I'm just trying to figure out how a baby is gender neutral. How in the bits does that work?
Catch my poop. Feel the wrath of my blowout.
Go ahead, Rich.
I got nothing because listen. I want to see these. I want to see these gender. What is it? Just a plain white diaper? Is it? I mean, because is it?
My picture wouldn't load. Hold on.
It's got to be a plain. It's got to be a plain white diaper. I mean, shoot, if you could
got violets and light purples and lavenders, and it's got a like a unicorn or a pony on it, and it's lavender.
So
it's lavender.
It appears feminine. It appears feminine. Gender neutral.
There we go. Gender neutral. It's gender neutral. Here we go. Bow. Gender neutral design.
Lord have mercy. I guess it's gender neutral because they got a blue and a pink.
Nah.
Unicorn or pony or whatever.
Y'all, I'm looking at this. This is the brand. First of all, the brand is My Little Pony. We are not about to act like My Little Pony is gender neutral. Stop it. Stop it. First of all, we're not going to sit here and pretend that My Little Pony is gender neutral. Second of all, we're not going to sit here and pretend that gender neutral is a thing. I'm not anyway. You niggas can do what you want. I'm not about to sit here and pretend that gender neutral is a thing. There's no such thing as gender neutral. There are two genders. That's it.
Well, so, and this is like the umbrella one, but like neutral baby names, like, because I know a male Ashley and a female Ashley. I know
big facts. I do too.
I know a man Leslie and a female Leslie. So, like unisex names.
Yeah, I know a Cameron. I know a Cameron and a Cameron.
Yeah,
right.
I know a Tony and a Tony.
Maybe not gender neutral, but unisex.
What I'm saying is, when did diapers become?
Yeah, listen, I'm with you. That's why I'm finna take this shot, but
I'm gonna take the shot with you. Hold on. I wasn't even ready for that. But I'm gonna take the shot with you.
The answer is not never.
Where'd you find that at? Was that at Walmart?
Yeah.
Walmart, you're canceled. I'm canceling Walmart.
You
can't.
I'll be there. Their prices is too low.
Their prices are low as shit. That's the price we gotta pay? This the price we gotta pay for low prices?
Listen, I stayed away from H&M for a while, but then I realized them really low prices.
Just don't buy Balenciaga because we know what that means.
Yeah, definitely ain't doing that.
That is an adult preference.
Their adult preference is children.
That shouldn't be
Balenciaga's adult preference is children.
That's not funny, but the
I didn't say it to be funny. I said
no,
it to be truthful.
I know.
Balenciaga's adult preference is children.
It was like it was wordplay. It was something. So it wasn't funny, but it made me laugh.
I'm through with it. I'm through with it. All right. What else we got? Speaking of random shit. All right. So Andrew Tate. Let me go ahead and take the shot. We just had Andrew Tate video on here last week. And by the way, this is about the point of the night where words get broke up because we've been drinking. So we had a video from this cat on here last week, and apparently Andrew Tate got arrested for trafficking.
I think it was allegedly trafficking. Yeah.
I blame us. We got Andrew Tate canceled.
That well.
Damn. I'd have had a little bit more compassion for the brother. All right. All right. Enough of that. Next week, man, listen, we appreciate y'all hanging in there with us. The few of y'all still here with us. We appreciate y'all. Thank y'all again. Like, share, subscribe. Share this on your Facebook, your Twitter, your Twitch, your whatever social media you on. Share the video. Tell a friend to tell a friend. All right. Try this again. Tell a friend to tell a friend, man. Want y'all back here next week. We closing the year out. That's it. We are done. However, next week, here's a little preview of what we're going to talk about.
Any high-value woman would be okay with that.
What's a high-value woman?
A woman who knows her worth. And
Well, what determines a woman's worth?
I think a woman determines her own value.
See, that's the difference between men and women. Like, a man can't just determine their value. The world dictates how valuable
the marketplace was
right. Like women could just make up how valuable she is in her head and then just assume that the world should follow that. But we can't operate like that. Imagine if I said like that, I'm just worth that. Like, why? Because I believe it. Everybody would think that I'm delusional, but women can believe that.
So yeah, you're definitely gonna want to catch us next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. It's January 6th, Friday.
I think we should dive into the Andrew Tate thing once more information comes out, because I would like to see what more information comes out about it, and if this is even like legit. Because I just been hearing some things, so we might have to bring that up too if more information comes out in time. You know what I'm saying?
If more comes out, we'll cover it. We're gonna be all over it. That said, Happy New Year, man. We made it through 2022, baby. Let's go. Man. My sound effects are drunk, so they may or may not come through. We'll see. There we go. All right, bet.
At least
Kev, final thoughts of the year, my brother. Talk to it.
At least we have going on here, right? That would be happy. Anyway, whether it's a resolution or just the desire to be better, I wish you all the best in the coming year. And I saw the meme floating around and said, if it's not a year for a ton of victories, but if you just picked yourself up every day and found a way to keep it pushing, then this has been a hell of a year for you. So enjoy that achievement as well, because some people decided to call it quits before the year got to this point. Take care of yourself, take care of your mentals and your chickens, and we'll catch y'all in the new year.
LB.
Everybody, I want y'all to continue to be fine like wine. I encourage y'all to have a great new year plan, set goals, again, reflect on this previous year. And I'm also going to encourage you. One of the things that I'm going to do is be like a tree and branch out. No, but my goal is to be more, and I'm gonna fill in the blank as time continues to move on. Love y'all. Like, subscribe, share. Come on, baby.
All that good stuff, man. Thank y'all again for rolling with us, man. You guys are the best. We appreciate every single one of you for sticking around with us all through this year. Look, we started this back in April. We didn't know where this was going to go. We still don't know where this is going to go. So we appreciate y'all rolling with us, man. I cannot say that enough. I cannot say that enough. With that being said, again, thank y'all. And 2023 is going to be a hell of a year. There's going to be more coming from us. There's going to be more coming from our channel. Look, man, just look, have a good one. Have a good night. Have a good weekend. Have a good 2023. We're going to be right in here with y'all, focusing on God and therapy. God and therapy. God and therapy. How many times we said we was going to take a shot, right? Every time that
shout out to God and therapy.
Is that going to be a drinking game? God and therapy.
Is it the full? Is it the shout out to, or is it just God and therapy?
I think the shout out to.
Okay.
I think it's anytime you say God and therapy, it's got to be in there. So
that's awful.
I think we're on like 8 now.
I was gonna say that. I feel like we said like 10 of them.
We probably did.
You know,
we owe y'all mad shots in the new year, but we
Happy
done for
New
this
Year,
year, man.
guys.
Happy New Year, everybody. We're gonna do better next week. We out of here, fam. Let's go.